I've just started the wrong game. Rubbish. That's what it is. It's rubbish. That's the one I was doing previously. Builder. That's the one. Yeah, standing around in the dark. That's fairly common. That one. So yes, that one. Okay, cool. Right. So, and we're online. So, hello and welcome to the Savvy Gadgetz channel with me, Ian, otherwise known as Ven, and Project Zomboid. This character is surviving. It's gone past Christmas and New Year's Day, I think. Just check the watch on my character. Yep, it's actually the second of the first. So we've been through and survived New Year's Day and Christmas. We're now looking forward to a whole new year of surviving. Great. Anyway, this week, Warzone news. Warzone have they've done some patches and bits and pieces for Season 3 Vanguard, but they've also released a new submachine gun called the H4 Blixen. It's quite a good weapon. I've unlocked it myself. To unlock it, you need to do 3 sliding kills with a submachine gun, just like you had to do with the Striker 45, but you need to do 3 rather than 2. So if you haven't unlocked either of them, now's the chance to do it. And I used the Modern Warfare MP5 to do that. That was quite easy. I've only got the UGR spear gun to go, and then I've unlocked all the SMGs. I don't think I've got any assault rifles left to unlock, just melee weapons, a marksman rifle, which is the R1 Shadow Hunter crossbow, and then I've got loads of melee weapons to work with, so that's what I'll be doing over the course of next week. Now, this week, normally, Monday, the 30th of May, because it's the last Monday of May, would be the spring bank holiday, or the late spring bank holiday. But because it's Jubilee year, and Jubilee is next Friday, they've actually moved it to Thursday, so we get a 4-day weekend. Yay! So today I'm drinking Red Bull. Not Red Bull, Monster. Turing Jin's saying this is just called Monster Energy. I think it's one of the originals. The classic Monster, and I've got a cup of tea as well. No snacks, because I've just had lunch. So, if you're watching the stream, get on the chat, say hi. Don't forget to check out Facebook, Twitter, for the pictures that I post on there. Also, this week I've been playing some State of Decay 2. I'm really looking forward to the third instalment. But there was a big update for State of Decay 2. They've improved the maps and that kind of thing. And I was actually playing multiplayer with calls from my Fragland group, my old buddies, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty interesting. It was interesting in kind of a weird way, because there was a circle of influence where you couldn't go. So because you've joined the host machine, there was a big circle that turns up, and you had to stay within the circle. It's a bit crap, to be honest. Hopefully the third one will get around all of that. Maybe if you could set up and host your own servers and that kind of thing, just like you can with Project Zomboid, which is something I've yet to do. I've yet to play multiplayer Project Zomboid. But let's get this show on the road. My character is absolutely ridiculously tired, so desperately tired, inhumanly tired. So before they die on their feet from sleep deprivation, crack open the wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, as I usually do. Oh, 4 o'clock. I was only an hour out. Yeah. So farming is something we're looking into. I'm hoping to look at some electronics this week as well. And I will explain everything as I go along. Alright, so the first thing I perhaps ought to explain is that I have fresh running water. And what I've done is I've just shut that window like an idiot. Because E activates things, but if you press and hold E, they actually walk through it. Alright, so, you can see I've got rain catcher barrels up here. Right, so this Raincatcher barrel and this one, they're within the 8 squares around the sink, which is on the lower level. So if we take a look at that, by jumping off like a moron, there you go, damaging myself quite badly. And you can see the sink's there and the water's above me. Now, once you've got that Raincatcher barrel up there, if you get a pipe wrench, which is specifically named, it can't be a wrench, it has to be a pipe wrench, you then right click on the sink and you can plumb it in to one of those Raincatcher barrels, and that supplies you with fresh water, even though the water that gets caught in the Raincatcher barrel is described as tainted. When it comes out of the tap, it's fresh. So we've got another one here. We've got some gardening going on. Now, I was trying to work out last week why I couldn't treat flies. Grab garden. Now, you're supposed to be able to make that sort of thing with water and cigarettes, but it's not having any of it, really isn't. This it wasn't last week. I guess we'll find out sooner or later. I need to read some books, I need to read some magazines, because I'm trying to do this week a bit of electronics. So if we dive over here to this, I better check out how bad it's done. A moderate bobby day, nothing broken, despite the fact that that says it's a lie. Right, so electricity, electronics magazine, already read, because what these do, missing number 3, they give us the recipes that we need. Right, let's have a look at our skills, electricity, electrical. I haven't got any electrical skills, so I better start reading the Electricity for Dummies, Volume 1. Now, the books are renamed for me because I'm using a modification called Book Collection. It's really, really handy. Right, so let's speed that up, because one of the traits that I had to take, because I've taken quite a few positive traits, I had to take some negative traits to offset the points that you can use, and one of those was slow reader. I'm kind of regretting that now, but at least when you start reading a book, you can continue reading a book for as long as you like. And then, you come back to it, you pick up where you left off rather than having to start reading it all again. Now, what the books actually do is they provide you with XP experience boosters. So, if we look at the skills, you can see my electrical now has this next to it. These arrows, which I've got the multiplier, and at the moment the multiplier is 1.5. And the first level it goes up. The first 2 levels it's up to 3, multiplier of 3. Slow. If we look at this one, hey Joe, back from the flu. Yeah, still got a bit of a sore throat. It's clinging around. It has to be said. It's not been very pleasant. Let's see if I've got some food that I could create fruit salad from random fruits. Got lots of berries. Berries have started turning up when foraging, which is good. So I'm using winter berries to eat. So I'm going to eat all of that. That'll take away my hunger. That'll also increase my happiness. Because, as I say every week, cooking is your path to happiness. The easiest way to increase that is if you've got berries or you've got things like mushrooms or berries, you can create a salad using an empty bowl and a knife. Doesn't have to be a knife. I've got a meat cleaver. Could be a hunting knife. Could be anything. But you create fruit salad from random fruits, and you can see that it actually gives you a -10 hunger and unhappiness -5, so it increases your happiness. But if you actually cook food, create roasts from food that meat that you catch using traps, or fish from fishing, or even dead rats and mice, if you use the meat from those to basically create meals from, that will increase your that will decrease your unhappiness. Basically, it will make you happier. Right, so how's the meat in our cool box doing? Fresh. Got potatoes, got carrots. I'll take some carrots just in case we need to bait our box traps for rabbits. We can also use those in roasts and as ingredients in meals. So that's all good. We've got a couple of worms, so we can bait our sticky traps. So foraging is has changed this year for 1.42. So in order to forage, and find items, you right click on the investigate area icon, that's this magnifying glass over here. You can choose a focus, and I'm going to choose berries, and I'm going to enable the search mode, and you can see that sort of circle widening out. So this is your area of sort of vision, and you can see any positives and negatives that you've got on this when you look at this eye, and you can actually hover over it. It gives you a tooltip which tells you what is common. Now I'm looking specifically for an area that is called vegetation. I know there's a vegetation area down here. There's deep forest, there's urban, there's road, and you'll find all sorts of different problems or different topics, including trash. So you can improve your. You see, it's changed over to forest, and we keep going down here. It will turn up as vegetation. Right, so I managed to tune up a car, a 59 Cadillac. I leveled your metalwork to level 6. That has some nice work. Metalwork, I've never really done metalwork. I've never really done electronics. So I'm concentrating on electronics. And although I have done some mechanics, mostly to demonstrate that you can hotwire cars with a screwdriver. In previous playthroughs of how I managed to get some of the cars early on. Was through doing that because I couldn't find the key. Right, so we're now in a vegetation area where it says firewood is common, animals are common, food is common. Now, I can improve my vision effectiveness by pressing the crouch, and then it automatically gives me a +10 to my vision effectiveness. Now, this is affected by the daylight, it's affected by the mood of your character, and it's affected by the weather. Now, if you aim with the right mouse button, so you've got that sort of like rectangle like you're going to hit a zombie, and you look at it, it actually gives you a +33. But obviously you move around a lot slower, and I don't really care for that. So hopefully we'll find more berries. Now you can, oh, there's stick traps dropped, look, so I've got something there. You see that it's collapsed compared to that one. So what we can do is we can check the trap, and we have a dead bird which we can then butcher, which becomes usable meat, and we can then use that, and then we can then rebait the trap with a worm. There we go. Let's check the other one. Add bait, didn't have any. That's disappointing. Looks like I could use some more clothing. That's still got bait and hasn't triggered, and that's still got bait and hasn't triggered. Right, so we need to carry on searching for other foodstuffs. Now I'm not sure whether this focusing on berries is actually going to work or not. And we found some berries last week, which was really good. I think there's been an update since then. Which is a shame because... Oh, hello. Look, we found something. Found some twigs. Don't need twigs at the minute. Even though I've discarded them, I still get XP for them. Whether I pick them up or throw them away, it doesn't matter. What we'll do is we'll just sort of go back and forth. See if we can spot anything. Now, mushrooms... I haven't seen mushrooms for a while, but mushrooms tend to show up after it's rained. And as it's kind of winter, I'm not expecting to see them. Even though it's not snowing. Not finding anything specific now. Probably because I'm focusing on berries. I'm not finding anything else. Although I did find twigs, so... Found David Tennant. And there's an obscure reference for you. Really? Do you need the blowtorch and the face mask, don't you? The welding mask for metalwork. Do you need the welding rods and all of that as well? Yeah, it's a shame you can't. And this is going to sound a bit weird, maybe, but you can't Mad Max your car and have spikes and bumpers all over it to protect the car from just running zombies over. I guess that'd be a bit weird in the realm Project Zomboid, but it's not unheard of, is it? Really, you know, it's just something that you would consider doing, putting bull bars on the front of your car, or a plough of some description, just so you can run zombies over and not be worried about them damaging the car. Just like they can do in State of Decay. God, I'm finding nothing here, am I? I'm wondering whether that focus mode is broken or not. Now, berries have been fairly rare to find, it has to be said. I did get kind of lucky, I suppose. All of a sudden, they just showed up. Winter berries. It was like, yes, I need some of those. Let's change it so there's no search focus, and then see if we start finding stuff. And I'll go back over the areas that I've just been through. Yeah, and to be fair, Joe, I didn't exactly have flu. It was just a bad cold. I know what flu feels like. I've had flu several times in my life, and it's like being awake, not sweating, and generally being unwell. You're forever sorting your food stores out, Joe. We're absolutely striking out here, aren't we? Apart from finding some twigs. Kind of disappointed that winter berries aren't more common. Or more of a common find, let's say. I mean, food is supposed to be a common find. I'm not finding anything. And because the tooltip does change depending on one thing or another, depending on whether, you know, and that kind of thing. So it depends on what you find. We have seen that. But no, I'm finding sweet nothing. Oh, I found a stone. Yay. Right, chipstones and tree branches, you can use those to make... Oh, that's 18 XP, that's good. You can use those to make spears. Spears are really good weapons to use in-game. Though they have quite a high damage, they improve your carpentry skill. They are really good. Just in general, even as a weapon. They're also the only weapon you can use through chain link fences. The zombies can't attack you, but you can still attack the zombies. What's that banging? Right, so let's disable that. Let's make ourselves a fruit salad out of random fruits. Because we're hungry again. Now you could just eat the berries as is, and that would get rid of some of your thirst and some of your hunger. Disappointing that you can't find... So it says winter berry fruit salad. I'm surprised they just made it so it was berries rather than just going with food. I'm surprised they made it so specific that you're specifically looking for berries. Surely you're just looking for food. I don't know, just putting that one out there. Good grief, Joe, that's a lot of food. Right. 6 o'clock in the evening. Oh, sorry, 6? No, that's 4. 16 is 4. 24-hour clock and all of that. It's going to be time to check my traps again. I've not done too bad for food. It has to be said. Perhaps I ought to check over my crops. What's this? Right, so I'm leaving those to go to seed. So I've got some carrots because they've got disease anyway. Strawberry plants, water level's fine. They're taking a long time to grow. Thirsty, so I need to water my plants. Dry, okay, so I need to look at my plants. So I need to perhaps dry. Right, okay, so I definitively need to water my plants. Grab the watering can. Get rid of the carrots that I've got back into the cool box. The cool box keeps things fresher for longer. And there we go. Yeah, you said that last week. Fill watering can. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like Louisville. It's really cool that they've added this, basically what is a new city. And one of the things that I really like about it is that, like you say, it's like you could move from one house to another, to another, to another, to another, just using the food in the house, and you could just survive for days and days and days and days just in the houses without having to venture out. You just take the food, or like I say, you just make go to a street, make one house your base, protect that, and then just scavenge the food from the rest of the street and just survive that way. And there's options. As I said, one of the best ways to protect your house is actually to have a sheep rope out the top floor, and just, if you've got a sledgehammer, take out the stairs, and then make sure that when you go up out your sheep rope, you shut the window, because then the zombies can't get in. And Bella has broken into the study. Hey, Betty Boo. Gonna ruin my green screen. That's a jobbing knife. That's a rolling knife to ruin my green screen. Let's make sure all the plants have got the water they need. And then drop the watering can. Don't drink it, drop it. And go get some water from the tap. Now, it hasn't rained for a while, which is disappointing. So let's create another fruit salad. Keep ourselves going. Oh, that actually reminds me. You've actually reminded me something. Something that I usually do that I haven't done this week. Right, yeah. So I put all my fruit and veg that I've grown in the cool box. And you could put it in the fridge, but if there's no electricity, the fridge isn't actually going to keep it fresh. So the cool box seems to do that, even though there's no cool bag in there, like an ice pack or anything like that, to make it like a fridge. I mean, if, like me, you've got a generator attached to your house and you're running a generator, then yes, you could put it in the fridge, because the fridge would have electricity, provided that your generator has got gasoline. But then it's like, yeah, the problem with generators though is because like anything mechanical, they do wear out and they do require gas. So I think you've said to me before that as part of your as part of your setup, you've got a generator at your house and you've got a generator at the petrol station, and that's fine. But the petrol station is still finite. It still has a finite resource. There's only so much petrol you can drag out of it, I think. So it's 5 o'clock. Let's shut the door. You own a gas station, yeah. It's where you get your supplies from. Right, so let's carry on reading our Electricity for Dummies. Speed that up and let's see if we can get that done and dusted. I've also got some other skills I need to read up on, like mechanics and metalwork, and I think cooking. Yeah, cooking as well. I need to get my... That's nearly done. There we go. So we can now put electricity back. I don't need carpentry. I think I'm actually done with carpentry, to be honest. Metalwork. There we go. Let's read some metalwork. There's a metalwork magazine, which I haven't read. Let's read that. Let's read those because these give you all of the recipes and bits and bobs. Slow reading. So let's have a look at my skill base. Hey, Supertone, how you doing, chap? Hope you guys have had a good week this week. Mine's been alright. So skills, let's have a look at our skills. So the traits that I've got. I'm underweight. That's just happened because my character isn't eating huge amounts. I took out of shape. And we're assuming that you can get rid of that by exercising. I've got thick-skinned, which is a positive. Light eater, positive. Inconspicuous, positive. Wakeful is a positive. Outdoorsman is a positive. So those 5 skills there are all positives, but then I've got these 4 negative skills, of which I think I only took 3, and that one just happens over time because my character isn't eating a lot. And I think it goes like 3 different sets. It's like underweight, very underweight, and then dead, I think. But my character is a slow reader, and that's why it's painful. I'm actually reading the book, that's why. Not reading the magazine. Read the magazines tomorrow. And now I've got the fairly overloaded because my character's tired and hungry and thirsty and reading a book, and it's like it's enough to make anyone fall asleep, let's face it. It's actually late at night for a change. Let's get a drink. Let's see if we can make some oatmeal. It's always useful. Let us stave off the hunger for a while. Make a bowl of beans. And hopefully we will get a decent night's sleep for my character. The one thing I haven't really done is fortified this place. And I'm not inclined to, purely because there's next to no zombies. In fact, there are no zombies. I haven't seen any for months up here. Apart from the few that were already here. Well, I think it was about 10. We took them out. And they haven't respawned yet, so unlike they did in Rosewood, where my character opened up the toilet and there were about 10 firemen and women in there. And that was a bit of a shock, because I had to fight them off. So what we do, metal work. Then we can do mechanics, and then we can read the magazines, and it's like just reading books to get the XP. Now, under normal circumstances, if you were playing multiplayer, you could do this as a community and just have a mechanic, an electronics guy, and just have them come in and do what you need. But that's not how it's working, because it's just me and I have to do everything. Right, let's put the oats back in the cupboard, whichever cupboard it will fit in, that one. Let's grab the roast pan from here. Let's actually create a nice tasty meal with... Right, so let's see what we've got in our cool box. Right, so we will take those into there and we will create... Let's move away. Create a roast from random game meat, and we'll just do that a couple of times. Just add it in. Because it's now sort of like getting to the point where it's going off. It's no longer fresh, it's just cooked. What we can then do is we can add some carrots, or we can add some potatoes. That all adds to the nutritional content of the meal and the happiness that it creates. Now I could add salt and pepper and other things into it to make it to further increase it, the happiness that you get from it and the nutritional values. But I think that's enough, to be fair. I could create several of these if I wanted to. But do I have twigs and light fire with rip sheets? Dirty rag and a lighter, that'll do. I've got 28 rip sheets. Where did they come from? Oh yeah, I was demonstrating, wasn't I? Alright, so let's cook that. Meanwhile, let's have a drink. Lazata Monster. So whilst we're waiting for that to happen, let's carry on reading. 2 birds, 1 stone, that kind of thing. We can eat some of this roast and then we'll go check out our traps. And I'm hoping when we get through a few months of this that we'll end up basically with getting back to berries and mushrooms and fishing and all of that sort of thing. Because I think it's a case of trapping helps you out over the winter, but then foraging for berries and mushrooms and fishing helps you over the winter months. Have any of you tried pickling? If you are on the chat, don't forget to say hi. Or if you're watching the video and the stream, get on the chat, say hi. Any questions about Project Zomboid or anything that you want to know about Project Zomboid, just ask in the chat and we will answer. I'll even demonstrate if I'm able to. And if you don't want to talk about Project Zomboid, other games are fine as well. I play Warzone quite a bit. I've also played Static Decay this week. I've also played some Subnautica. So I'm going to eat half of my roast. And because that's instantly giving me a full belly, full to bursting. Let's get rid of those. Check out our traps. Now, our trapping's actually doing all right with our trapping. Has to be said. At least with this, you can actually create stuff Right, so that trap's fallen. That one's gone as well. Look, oh, that's good. Right, so we should have... if we collapse that, we've got a dead bird. Let's butcher it rather than eat it. Is that would be bird? Oh, there. What was that? Cooking's just gone up. And we've got a rabbit underneath here, I suspect. Yeah, dead rabbit. Let's butcher it. Now we've got fresh rabbit meat, fresh bird meat. And this is going to last me for days and days and days, basically. And that's what makes trapping really useful. And once you know what you're doing, and it's like everything kind of needs something else from one of the other skills. So being able to grow carrots, to trap rabbits, keeps you going over the winter months. And you can grow, as I am growing, carrots during the winter months rather than during the summer months. You can do it whenever you like. So farming comes into it. Actually, having the seeds to start off with is useful. So, but then potatoes, they just add to your roasts. I've got strawberries growing as well. So it's all good. So we've now got some fresh rabbit meat. I've even got, I even caught fish last week. That's how good things are going for me at the moment. I've got plenty of food. So there's absolutely no zombies around here, so I'm quite happy to stand in the middle of nowhere and read a book. Whereas anywhere else, this would be, you know, insta death. Yeah, I haven't tried pickling anything yet either. So I think the hardest part about that is finding, because like you find jars, but you have to find the lids for them. They don't come jars with lids; they're just jars without lids. It's like, ah. But if you could pickle lots of food in the sort of like summer months, then you're not going to be short of food in the winter either. Alright, so I'm actually going to stop that, and I'm going to eat quarter of my roast. Hopefully that'll keep me full. Hopefully that will help me put on some weight for a change. Hey Rudy, welcome to the channel. You found a jar full of cabbages once. Nice. I generally I don't really know what the pickles are, but they're always just referred to as pickles. So I don't know whether you have to pickle anything specific, or you could just pickle vegetables. Assume you need vinegar. There's plenty of that lying around. And you do find them every now and again in the fridge, and they tend not to go off either. That's the thing. That's the thing about pickles. They tend not to go to spoil quickly. That's why the pickles are so useful, I guess. It's like you can pickle food and then... Ah! There's plenty of sugar around as well. I thought you just needed it to make tea and give you calories so that you've got the energy and all the rest of it. Oh, okay. I might have to look into that. Let's see if I can find a video that talks about pickling. I will become Pickling Jeff. Second obscure reference for the day. For those people in America, Pickling Jeff probably doesn't make any sense, but to the English people that might. There was a couple of a couple of comedians called Trevor and Simon, who used to do skits on children's TV, and two of their characters were Pickling Jeff and Job. And they basically pickled everything, including hats and clothes and God knows what else. They were just mad picklers. But Trevor and Simon were a really popular pair of comedians. And I have fond memories of them, let's face it. As the song goes, it's pickling time with Pickling Jeff, and Joby's here as well. If they pickle this, they pickle that. If you don't watch out, they'll pickle your hat. Yeah, vinegar is a bit rarish. It's not as common, but then salt isn't exactly a common commodity, I suppose. And I've got all of those, I just don't have a jar or anything to pickle them in. Right, so that's the metalwork for beginners. Red. Right, so that can go back in there. Yeah, so we can read the magazines, because I haven't read any of the magazines yet. So the magazine teaches you recipes to make metal containers. Magazine Volume 2. Volume 3, metal fences. Volume 4, make small metal sheet. Well, I don't know what number 1 does, even though I'm just reading it. It's make metal roof, make metal walls. Okay, put that in the container. Let's read the next one. Read. Yeah, absolutely, really. You're quite right. I've come across houses where you've got the jars sitting there and the stuff on the table. You also find tailors' houses and that kind of thing, where you find there's a sewing kit and some scraps of material on the table, that kind of thing. Or every now and again, a mechanic's house and there's like a wrench on the table and a screwdriver or something. Right, so we'll do some of that. It says then. Always good when I refer to myself in the third person. Oh. Yeah, well, I've got some vinegar kicking around. I'll have a quick look. Didn't check my traps. Need to check my traps. Right, before I go any further, I keep thinking about it, and I keep saying it, and I haven't done it. But there it is. Map.projectzomboid.com is the entire map of Project Zomboid, and I usually only open with this, and the first 3 or 4 months of this playthrough was done with other characters in and around Rosewood. And we made a base out of the fire station, raided pretty much everything in Rosewood, and then made a base out of over here, near the lake on this thing, and we went and raided some areas of Muldra, sort of like this sort of end of Muldra around the police station. I've also raided a Riverside and West Point. Now, after about 3 or 4 months, the characters were surviving with ease. You know, there was no zombies. They were able to forage and fish and do everything. So, to make life a little bit more interesting, I created a new character in the same playthrough, or in the same save game, and starting them in West Point, which is one of the hardest places to start. So, we've pretty much picked clean West Point in quite varying different ways. Now, the first character died off, and the second character, which is the one I'm currently playing, has survived for quite a long time. Now, this is West Point, and I'm based up here at this lake in this house just here. So this is a very, very useful resource, because when Louisville was added, which is the map used to stop here, pretty much. All of this was added, and this is Louisville. It's huge in comparison to any other town. It incorporates all of the other towns just in half of that. So you've got, you know, all of that play area added, which is fantastic. Now, a quick word about multiplayer. Multiplayer was originally going to be released, or multiplayer was released before Christmas, but NPCs were going to be released, but because the multiplayer stuff, the multiplayer code touched quite a lot of areas of NPCs, they've had to delay it. Plus, they're also brought in the idea, concept of animals, and the idea is that you will be able to start a playthrough years after the initial zombie infection event, whereas this is like a few months. Usually you can do a few months or a week or something. But for this character, the electricity had gone off months ago, and the water. So it was a very sort of like difficult start, because you finding water, had to find water in taps, and there's no actual running water, it's just what's left. So that's been a bit difficult. Certainly more challenging, but as you can see, we're getting there, you know. Oh god, Louisville is absolutely rammed with zombies. And this was actually something that somebody talked about last week, and that is that the zombies, they just seem to be huddling together more in larger packs. And I demonstrated this on my easy playthrough, not this one, but whereas we came across a pack of zombies, and there was about 10 of them, just huddled together. And because it was easy, it's on easy mode for demonstration purposes, I was just able to just take them out and not make heavy work of them. Whereas normally that would be quite a challenge, and you would have to really think about whether you actually want to take on that many zombies in one go. Right, so we are cooking. I haven't finished levelling my cooking yet. I'm not really worried about first aid, to be honest. It's not really a problem. Or tailoring. Mechanics. There we go. Let's read some mechanics. Yeah. Why are you whispering, Joe? Joe, you're whispering. Why? There's no zombies around. You're safe, mate. Actually, I quite enjoyed playing State of Decay with calls from my Fragland crew this week. I haven't played it for a while. I did quite a few videos. Live streaming it was a pain. It was really bad quality. Trying to live stream it, even recording it was tough in many ways. So I used to record, edit, and then upload the videos for that. And I actually had one of the in-game mechanics for one of the trucks I was driving. I scraped it up a wall, at which point it upended, span round, and then ended up on the other side of the wall in itself. You might find that on my Facebook page. Or on my Twitter feed. If you check, links in the description below, go check it out, see if you can find it. It's just weird. It's just such a bizarre thing to happen. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing State of Decay 3. Absolutely love State of Decay. NPCs are a bit naff. They may be a lot harder on Nightmare mode, because I usually played on normal mode. The zombies were hard enough, to be honest. I absolutely hate ferals. Hashtag I hate ferals. It's a thing, you know. Right, let's eat the rest of our roast, as it's night time. Daytime, night time. that silly bird from Walk on a Wild Side. If you've never seen that, that's just hilarious. If you look up the daytime nighttime bird, Walk on the Wild Side on YouTube, you'll find it. It's just ridiculous. Funny but ridiculous, all in the same time. Alright, so the reason I'm doing mechanics, the reason I'm doing metalwork, the reason I'm doing electronics is because of what I want to do. I actually want to do some things with this. Now, electronics, you can create distraction devices. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. Because what I want to do, and this may sound a bit bizarre, is in order to clear out an area full of zombies, I'm going to put a fire on the floor, light it, and then put down a device which I can then trigger and then attract all the zombies towards the device and the fire at the same time, and then burn them all to hell. That's the plan. Whether it works or not is an entirely different kettle of fish. Now, Nurse did a good video that practically does the same thing. It's a case of the zombies pathing works in a way that if they're trying to get to the side of the car that you're in. So if you're on the left-hand side of the car, that's the side of the car they'll go to. So if that side of the car is blocked, they will then go to the other side of the car. Now, if the other side of the car happens to have a fire on the floor next to it, they're going to be standing in the fire. And that's how that works. So basically, you get in, and she used an ambulance as an example, and she drove up to another car. So that side of the car's, one side of the car's blocked. Got out the unblocked side, put a fire down, lit it, got back in the ambulance, moved seats so they were on the blocked side, and set off the sirens. So the ambulance is sitting there going, woo, woo, woo. Then the zombies are attracted to the ambulance, they then stand on the fire, and all of the zombies in the area are then set on light and then eventually die from being burnt. And it is the quickest and easiest way to get rid of a large area of zombies. And it's just a thing. So I'm wondering whether you can do the same thing with an electronics device that makes noise off of a timer and just have it sitting next to a fire. Probably. I'm probably going to die when it happens as well. That's also another expectation. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's loads. I'm going to have another good look around Louisville. We might do that during the week. I actually, because we've got a double bank holiday this week, I'm actually do some extra streams on Thursday and Friday. I've been meaning to pick up and complete Days Gone as well. I was live streaming that for a while. I was doing that on Saturdays. My Saturdays have been reasonably busy since then. So. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, back to NPCs. NPCs are coming. And I've seen video footage from Indie Stone where basically they've got all of the... I can't remember how many it was, but they had quite a large number of NPCs driving around in cars. So the NPCs will be able to drive cars. The way that they explain this, and I think Mr. Atomic Duck sort of interpreted it a bit. But basically the idea is that the NPCs will have off-screen their own lives. Basically, they will be doing stuff whilst you're doing your thing. Okay, so the idea being is that you may come across a survivor. And this is how Mr. Atomic Duck did it. He basically said that you may come across a survivor who is distrustful of communities and will not join your community if you're trying to build a community. And his reasoning, or her reasoning for that, is that whilst they were in a previous community, they saw their partner, their husband or wife, whatever, or loved one, was basically ripped to shreds by zombies, and that happened because of another person in the community. So they then left that community, and then you came across them, and that's how he basically puts it. So there will be sort of like, these NPCs will also have backstories and that kind of thing, which is fantastic. So things that may have happened to them that means that they don't trust people. But if you've got NPCs in a community doing stuff, that means you can go off and do more exciting and interesting things. So you could have one sitting there looking after the farm or farming stuff. You could have one going out and does all the foraging, and another one that does all of the cooking, and another one that does, all of that. And you can have people that specialise in things, and then you can just go off and shoot everything and attract a load of zombies to your base. I haven't tried any of the challenges. I've seen a few of them, and some of them look quite fun. The Paul Blart one, escaping them all, looked next to impossible. It's like, you're on the roof of the mall and you have to get out of the mall. That's just not going to happen, is it? Let's face it. Last time I saw the mall, and I did a specific visit to the mall using my easy playthrough, and even then there were so many zombies standing at the doors trying to get out. It was like, yeah, okay, that's not going to happen. The getting in was hard enough. Let's face it. It was ridiculous. So yeah, Days Gone. I really need to sort of complete that, I suppose, at some point, because I got quite far into it, but I didn't actually complete it. Deacon St. John, that's the character you play as. Alright, let's see what meat we need to use up. Fresh. Okay, I think we'll do fish today. We'll create a roast from random fish. Rabbit meat, vegetables, small bird meat. Why can't I create a roast from fish? Why can't I create a fish roast? Okay, so if that's the case, do I need to fillet the bass? Slice and fillet, there we go, that's the problem. Need to fillet it. And now I can probably create random fish, there we go. Random fish, and of course we can then create from potato. There we go, and go cook that on the barbie. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. I'm just gonna light it with one of the 28 sheets and a lighter that I've got. Okay. Now hopefully this won't take as long to cook because it's fish as opposed to rabbit meat, but who knows. Yeah, I've always got a bottle of water with me. There is always in my backpack. Usually got a couple. As you can see, I've got quite a menagerie of things in my backpack. I think I can actually drop the nails. Don't need them. I've usually got a spear with me just in case. Because every now and again, and I tend to use crowbars as my mainstay weaponry. That works really well. But then that's how every now and again your crowbar breaks, which is which is thoroughly disappointing in my opinion. It's metal. How can it break? How can it have a durability? It's like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But in the meantime, what we can do is might as well create our fruit salad from that kind of berry, because that's no longer fresh. Food has to be fresh in order for it to be useful or more useful. Yeah, I think you can create sort of juices and that sort of thing. Don't know where that comes to in cooking, but you know. Alright, so what with mechanics? That's it. Still reading mechanics. So let's do some mechanics. Wait for this to change to burning. Take it and put it out. There we go. Right. So I've actually got a couple of cars down here. Now, initially for mechanics, you only need a screwdriver. And when you've got level 1 mechanics, and you can only do this once a day, which is a bit of a pain, so it's a slow leveler. If you inspect the vehicle mechanics, bring up the rectangle, you can right click on the car, and as you can see, this car is completely bereft of most things. I think I stole a headlight out of it for one of my cars. But you can remove the radio. So uninstall the radio. You can uninstall the battery, and you can uninstall the lights. So I'm going to uninstall those. And then once you've taken them out, you can then put them back in again. It's amazing. So we'll go install the light bulb, install that one. Install the light bulb, install that one. Install the light bulb, install that one. And then you can install the battery and install the radio. And then that should give you some experience. Says then. So as you can see, my mechanics has actually gone up by 9.5 from nothing. And that's why it's such a slow process. Now, as you get further on, you can then start dealing with other things like taking the tyres off with a jack and the lug nut wrench. You can. It's inadvisable. If you want to keep doing it, you want to build it up. You want to use a car, even though this one's completely broken. You know, then at least if it breaks, it's then no good to you. You then can't uninstall it, reinstall it, and either get the experience for it. That's the kind of the point. So as you get further into it, you need a wrench. You need the car jack. You need the lug wrench. Screwdriver, obviously, and I think that's all of the tools you need. I don't think you need any more, but it is a slow process. I seem to remember it taking ages. Right, so our electronics is now fully stacked out. And whilst I'm down this way, just check out my traps. See if I've got any more meat. That stick trap's okay, that stick trap's okay, and that one's nice. So no, neither of those are gone. Because I was Rudy, I was uninstalling the seats before, even though it was kind of like the next level up, and I ended up breaking one, and it just didn't. That was the end of it, pretty much. It was unusable after that. So, and I want to be able to keep using it to keep leveling it. If you see what I mean. What was I doing? Where was I going? Lost my train of thought. I was going to do something. Drink. I suppose this character needs a drink. It's hungry now as well. We'll eat a quarter of our roast. Electronics. That's what I was going to do. So the screwdrivers are useful for electronics, and I have quite a stash of electronics somewhere. Says Ven. Box of sparklers. Woohoo! So I collected previously tons of watches. There we go. If we dismantle all 6 watches, any more? Oh, there's a wrench. Right, let's drop the nails that I'm aimlessly carrying around. Let's drop those there. Yeah, look, box of jars. Value Tech radios, can dismantle those as well. And you'll get varying bits and pieces out of these, like amplifiers, batteries, wires, bulbs, receivers, scrap electronics, aluminium, all that sort of thing. Now let's see how much that has had to see the tinfoil hat flower. Electrical, so all of that's given us a plus 16. Not great. But it's something. Oh, look, I've got an empty jar. Used to pickle food, requires a jar lid, which I don't have. Jar lid, there we go. Maybe I can pickle something. Let's have a go at that. Oh, watches, there we go. It's another 7 watches. Let's dismantle them. Dismantle all 19. Yeah, I think so. Let's do the lot. Let's see our electrical go up. And that's why I collected so many watches and things like that. Yeah. You can you can only unlock the you can only dismantle the electronic ones. You can't unlock the undo the classic ones, as it were. So it's about having the right watch, which is why I collected them all. There's a certain amount of method in that madness, it has to be said, but video games, you can dismantle those as well, along with varying radios and porta discs. What else? There's loads of other stuff. Right, amplifier, battery, electric, radio receiver, scrap electronics, aluminum, as it's better known in other countries. So was there anything else I could do in here? Tons of scrap. I actually want to keep one of the porta discs so I can actually play music or something like that. Although unhappiness isn't a thing for my character, to be fair. Pretty sure there's watches over here as well. Got quite a mix of stuff over here. Oh, look, there's another 10. There we go. Dismantle watch. 13. Yeah, I'll dismantle all of those. Falcon! Hi, chap. How you doing? Hello. Yes, I've actually found one whilst doing a forage, and it came out as one of the trash items, which was a bit weird. Very random. But yes, I have seen one. I know what you're talking about. Alright, nice to see you again, Vulcan. Hello. Welcome back. I'm surprised that didn't actually level my skills. My electronic skill. Oh, look, it's close though. Look at that. Yeah, almost got a level in electronics. Let's see if there's anything else I can dismantle. I don't think there is. Oh, and there's headphones. Dismantle the headphones. There we go. There we go. Electrical. See, it was worth it after all. Right, pickling. We have a jar. We have a lid. We have some salt. We have some sugar. Do we have some vinegar? I know I've picked up vinegar. It's one of them things. Vinegar. There we go. Question is, what can we pickle? Do we just pick something and say, pickle this? Now, this is unexplored territory for me, it has to be said. So, make jar of carrots. Oh, there we go. Empty jar, jar lid, carrots times 5, water, vinegar. Use one of sugar, brown sugar, or a sugar packet. Doesn't mention salt. Let's go with that. There we go. So we should have okay. I thought I just made something like that. I thought I just made a jar of... Make jar of carrots. Ah, there it is. Uncooked. Do we have to cook it? Guess there's only one way to find out. Fight! No, it's not. So eat some of that. That could be interesting. Do you just leave it? Or you just have to cook it before you do anything else? This could go badly. Add fuel. Light fire with rip shakes. There we go. Do you then add the vinegar? Okay. That just seems a bit of a weird process, but fine. Be interesting to see how long they last, to be honest. It's not like I'm short of food. But they were actually pickled something. We've pickled something. There we go. I am pickling Jeff. Right, so I assume you put the carrots in the jar with the water. Yeah. Because it has used vinegar. Used the water as well. Now cooking gets rid of all the bacteria. Just wait for it to explode. Cooking, burning, grab it, turn off the fire. There we go. Right, so we now have a jar of carrots. I'm going to put them in the usual food place, just there. At what point do they become pickled carrots? Right, so these still need to work that out. Potatoes are growing. More potatoes growing. Strawberries are growing. I don't want to dig graves. What are they? That'd be carrots. Really, those are going to seed. Those are going to seed. Those are going to seed, and then these are actually things I'm going to eat. I think I had loads of potato seeds though, didn't I? I think I could probably plant some more. Carrot seeds, yeah, very short on potato seeds. Got loads of those. What we'll do is put the salt, vinegar back. There we go. Plant some more potatoes. Sow seeds, potatoes. There we go. Water it. Oh, that's empty. That's bad. It's like my trousers could use some. That I've zoomed in. I can see that the shins are missing some protection. So we could do a bit of tailoring. Need to find a box of lids so I can create more preserved food. Okay, so using scissors I've previously cut up hello. So have a look, quick check. Oh, okay. That's that done. You can see I've got a patch on the back of my trousers. So let's go upstairs quickly to where I keep all my sewing equipment in this box. So I've got a needle. So using scissors, I've cut up leather jackets and other things to create scraps. So I've got lots of leather strips. I'll need the thread. Hopefully, if I inspect my trousers, baggy jeans, covered in blood, inspect, it says it's got a hole in the right shin, so I can patch that with leather strips. Patch all holes with leather strips, that'll do. Oh, there's a hole there as well, so keeps the condition of it up. So there we go. Leather patches. Leather strips. Needle. Thread. Now you get thread from ripping clothes as well. And obviously that just increases your tailoring skill. So although my tailoring skill is pretty poor, I haven't read the book for it yet. You can see now that if you look at the characters, like the holes on the shin are now patched with leather. Let's grab a drink. It hasn't rained for weeks in this game. Might end up having to eat all of my... Yeah, I just will. Just eat all of it, what's left. There we go. Let's go check out our traps. Then I think we ought to dig for worms because I haven't got any worms. So also be worth seeing what we can do from an electrical perspective. Crafted trigger, remote firebomb. Ooh, yeah. A noise generator. Electrical skills, level 2. Why do I need level 2? Noise maker. Crafted timer. Noise maker, there we go. What are we doing? Electrical 3, level 3. What can I make with level 1 then, apart from nothing by the looks of it? That's a bit naff. Can add a timer to stuff. But I can't actually... Ah, there we go. A makeshift ham radio. A makeshift walkie-talkie. Those are the things I can actually make. Dismantle home alarm. Actually, that hasn't been an option previously. Yeah. Yeah, quite right, Rudy. People run out of time. But apparently we can also, at level 1, craft ham radios and walkie-talkies. I wonder if that means we can then dismantle them again. Because this is how I've leveled carpentry before. Whereas I've created something and then dismantled it. And then create it again. Eventually you lose the materials, but... Right, both stick traps are still there. I think the rabbits, those rascally rabbits have absconded with my carrots. Ah. Okay, well, that's a bit non-useful. Right. Let's dig a furrow. See if we get some worms. Yep, got a worm. There we go. I thought I could remove. There we go. Remove. Dig. Remove. Dig. Remove. Dig. Because you're not going to get another worm out of that one, Ian. Come on. You know you want to. Give me another worm. Ah, now I did notice there'd been an update this week. Wasn't entirely sure what that was about. Oh, I've got another worm. That's all I needed. Bait me other trap. There we go. So that's both of those traps baited. Do you think they'll add in things like allergies to specific foods? And severe allergies, so that you end up having to carry around an EpiPen or something like that as well. You don't feel right. Quick, use the EpiPen. I don't think they'd be quite that cruel. Where's my inventory gone? Inventory. There we go. Put the hammer over there. Don't really need that. Roasted pear. Let's go another roast. Shovel in the backpack. Right, so that's the one we want. Now it would be a whole new level of way to die, wouldn't it? Oh, absolutely, yeah. The nut allergies and things like that. That would just be unreal, wouldn't it? Oh, there wasn't a lot of meat on that bird. I'll take that one as well. Add random game, there we go. And then we'll add some potatoes. Roast, add potato. Oh, I suppose I ought to take the carrots and bait my other traps. Hang on. I'll come back and cook that. 26, yeah, that'll do. That'll keep me going for tomorrow. I mean, you think of the whole level of sophistication that there is in this game with regards to some of the things that you can do. You would have thought allergies would have been a thing, wouldn't you? It's like, I mean, you can be fat, thin, underweight, overweight. Sorry, that's the same thing, is it? Out of shape, in shape. Smoker, non-smoker. So you deal with addiction. Nicotine addiction. In fact, you could probably give yourself a nicotine addiction. Yeah, because let's face it, in a game where hunger is a very real problem, and you're having to be careful with what you eat, and you just come across a pack of nuts, and you've got a nut allergy. That would be insane. Right, let's continue reading our Mechanics Volume 1. Whilst we're cooking. Multiple things done at the same time. It's a whole new level of multitasking in Project Zomboid. Why did you stop reading? Alright, let's heat a quarter of my roast. Put the carrots back in the cooler where they stay fresh, because they are fresh carrots still. And grab a drink. I've got a bucket of water sitting there with drinking it, just in case, because like I say, it hasn't rained for quite a while. Carry on reading. Let's get this book over and done, and then I've just got to read Cooking to get the most out of me cooking. I'm getting the most out of me mechanics. So I think I need mechanics level 1, electronics level 2. And tomorrow I might have a go at crafting a ham radio. Let's see if we can actually do that. Well, ham walkie-talkie there, so there's that pile of scrap electronics. Although I didn't actually see a receiver. Right, so that's that dealt with. Get my character off the bed. It's now the 6th of January, good grief. Ploughing through the days. Wake up to the sound of tons of zombies. I'll eat half my roast. My character's extremely hungry at the minute. Does that actually help my weight at all? My weight is just going down. So let's just eat all of it. And then have a drink. Right. Let's see what we can do. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm missing a radio transmitter, a green light bulb. Well, it has to be a green light bulb, I don't know, but ham radio, we're missing aluminium. That's disappointing. I would have thought you'd have been able to do something with electronics at level 1 other than create those. There's some aluminium. It's on the shelves. What's on the floor? There's a light bulb. Let's try and get all my scrap stuff together. Aluminium 3, light bulb. Nothing over here. Batteries, amplifier. Oh yeah, loads of aluminium there. Electric wire. Light bulb. Green light. Where the hell are you going to find a green light bulb, for goodness sakes? Electronics. Yeah, I suppose so. seems a bit weird that it has to be a green light bulb. Can you just not paint it green? Yeah, it's like green light bulb, and we're just missing a green light bulb and radio transmitters. It's like, oh well, okay. Let's do something weird. Don't think I'm ever going to need it again, so disassemble the TV. Let's see what we get out of that. Oh, I can put the mechanics away as well, can't I? Better check my traps after this. I've got a red light bulb. That's something, I suppose. What's my level of cooking? Cooking is level 3, so I need the level 2, so I'll grab one of those. There we go. That's where I've got to. Now, I think there were some, if I check out the other houses. Either I'm going to come across something unpleasant. As you can see, previously I've been through this house. Must have dismantled the TV previously. Disassemble the Value Tech radio. Yes, please. Then we can operate on the car just outside. Get our mechanic skill going. He's taking his time on that one. Still no green light. The TVs do actually make a decent blockade. Dog food! The dreaded dog food. God, I really did go to town in these places, didn't I? Book of Genesis. Oh. Dismantle the lamp. Grey lamp. There we go. Disassemble that. I wonder if I've got anything in the back of my car. No, you failed to produce any materials. Well, you're just rubbish, even for a level 1 electrician. Why are there 2 bathrooms upstairs? Oh, that's one of them's an ensuite. That's why. Answered my own question the moment I answered it. I watch enough renovation, programs on renovation with the wife. Right, let's just do some quick mechanics. Well, this car isn't in terrible condition. The hood's really knackered, but the rest of it seems alright. I won't operate on that car. I'll use one of the others down the road. I don't want to damage that. Fucking hell, if that's in reasonable condition. Let's dive in through here. Again, I've kind of been to town in here. There's no TV. Oh, there is. Disassemble the TV. Not getting much out of that. So it's 8.3 at the moment, 8.25. And that went up to 9.75. Massive! That's terrible. I think that's it for this house as well. There wasn't a lot in it, from what I remember. Tissues on the side there. That's bathroom. Ah, there's another table lamp. We'll just disassemble that. Ah! Ha 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 ha! We have found a green light bulb. Must have come off one of the tellies. Scrap electronics, there we go. Another grey lamp. Another lamp anyway. Disassembled grey lamp. So that's going rather well. Oh, do you want to go out, pal? You're stuck. That's what happens when you break in. Oh. And again, you failed me. Well, we still don't have the receiver, so we're not going to be able to make anything. There's me aimlessly running around with a screwdriver in my hands. That's usually a bad idea. Well, let's check out the back of the car. So I did go plundering. See if there's anything. There's got a red dot sight for a pistol. Safety goggles. Get in. That seat's occupied because it's full of junk. In fact, it's got party hats. Yay! Ah, well, we'll grab that because we need the electronics magazine. The TV remote, grab that. Watches. Scrap electronics. Grab that as well. Crackers. Eat all. Crackers. Eat all. There's a gun case with a gun in it. Black digital watch. Several alarm clocks. Right, let's dump all of the. Let's dismantle the watches, all three of them. Dump the gear here. And don't think we could. I think we're missing the receivers, aren't we? Still. So yeah, no, they were missing the transmitter. I saw a TV remote. Let's dismantle that. That gives me a receiver. Why doesn't it give me a transmitter? Surely a TV remote is a transmitter, not a receiver. And the TV is a... Never mind. Alright, so what does this give us in terms of... Motion sensors. Okay. See if we get the recipes for that. Ah, okay, so ham radios, that kind of thing. Walkie-talkies. Saw a walkie-talkie. I think I've got some kicking about. Dismantled a couple. I guess it's a percentage to drop when you dismantle it. Right, so that's that red. Because that was the missing. Yeah, that was the missing magazine that I picked up. There we go, a walkie-talkie. Let's dismantle the two-way radio. 3 of them? Oh, there's a radio receiver there. Let's take that. Where are the other 2? Oh, there they are. Oh, that's that one. Oh, there's a walkie-talkie there as well. Okay, let's just go for it. Dismantle two-way radios. We can always create one out of scrap. And we now have another green light bulb. But no transmitter. How bizarre. Like I say, it must be one of those things where you just get random drops of stuff. So you can dismantle something, then you might get the relevant item from it. And for us, in this case, what were we trying to do? It's a radio transmitter. Okay, that's food for thought. We can always keep our eyes open for. There's another walkie-talkie there, so we can. Not really using them. It's on the ground, isn't it? Okay, let's dismantle that, see if we get anything from that. Nope, still nothing. Well, thoroughly disappointing that is, isn't it? Oh well, it is what it is. And got quite a nice stockpile of stuff though. So do we have any others? There are the radios, two-way radios. I don't think we did. I think screwdrivers. No. There's a battery. Take the battery. Okay, well, we're going to have to move all that stuff inside at some point. Let's see how we're doing. Potatoes fresh. Fresh meat and cooked. We're going to go create ourselves a new roast. Create roast from rabbit meat. Could have gone random game because there's only one thing in there. And it's not like there's anything in there that's rotten either, so... Add random game, might as well add a couple of bits and then add some potatoes. So I think there's still plenty of meat left on that rabbit. Yeah, there's enough to make another roast out of that. So we will add some potatoes, cook that. Light it with the sheets. And continue reading. Volume 2, cooking. Well, that's how you do it. You need a roast pan to start off with. And then you add the ingredients to the roast pan. Now it can be canned food. You can add canned foods to your roast. You can create all sorts, really. You just add stuff to it. You can add salt. You can add pepper as spices. You can add honey and all sorts, really. If you open a can of potatoes, you can add the can of potatoes. You open carrots, bolognese, and just add it in. And just bung it on a barbecue or a fire and cook it. That's how you do it. There you go. Demonstrate it to Vulcan. You ask and you shall receive. I quite often cook roasts over everything else. I mean, it's just how I've started. I mean, it's like one of the things about, as I always say, if you a lot of the time my characters used to become depressed, and I used to treat that with antidepressants. But to treat it a different way, I mean, you could listen to music or read books and comics, but they're consumables. Whereas cooking, it does help. It does alleviate unhappiness and boredom if you create a nice, cheerful meal. It will undo unhappiness. It will relieve boredom, and the better the cook you are, the better meals you will prepare. Basically, they will be more nutritious. They will be, more healthy. They'll be better for you. So cooking is a very important aspect of the game. I mean, it's the reason why I've got a bowl in my inventory, so that if I find berries and things like that, you basically, if you've got a knife and you cut the berries into a fruit salad, again, that alleviates happiness and creates better food for you. So that's why I've got a bowl. And then I've got a knife of some sort. In this case, it's a cleaver. That's going to end up being not very useful in the not too distant future. But if you take a look at this roast, it alleviates 81 hunger. It alleviates 3 thirst and -5 unhappiness. So I'm going to eat a quarter of that. Let's see how good. So I'm only peckish, and now I'm full. That's how it works. That's why you do it. And this is why trapping and fishing and all of that are so important. Yeah. Wow. Exactly. I mean, that is a lot. It will help feed your character for 4 meals, basically. That's why it's really important to trap, fish, and cook. And farm, basically. If you accumulate all of those different bits, then I need to sort that out. I don't know how to sort that out. Why I can't create the pesticide. Yeah, I mean, largely I think it depends on like the saucepans. I mean, you can create soups and things like that with the large pots. So, wrestle me way through that bush. So if you've got these large pots and they have water in them, you can then add ingredients to make a soup. And again, you can use cans to do that if you've got them. You can see I've got quite a collection. Yes, I've got cigarettes for pesticide, and I've got the watering spray can, but for some reason I don't have the recipe. Now, I have done this before. Let's see, the cigarettes are over here. There we go, cigarettes. All of them, Vulcan. You do all of them. Foraging helps, trapping helps, fishing helps, farming helps. Accumulate all of them together and you've got the ultimate survival tool. Right, so we've got the can. Now, for some reason, it does not allow me to... It doesn't give me the option to create a pesticide. And I don't understand why, because I've got the cigarettes. So click on the cigarettes, there's nothing there. Click on the spray can, nothing there. Click on the water bottle that's in my inventory, nothing there either. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's doable. Let's face it. I'm sure it could be done. Stranger things have happened online, you know. So yeah, but no, I cannot create pesticides. I've got the ingredients. I've got cigarettes. I've got water, and I've got the spray can, the gardening spray can, and that's got water in it. But I cannot, for love nor money. Why can't I put that in the empty bottle? Because it's probably in the wrong inventory, isn't it? Pour into empty bottle. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. It's fresh water. Right, spray can. That is right. Yeah, I've got no option to create pesticides at all, and I don't understand why. I wonder if is there a farming magazine that I don't have or I haven't seen. Ah, see, I knew I was missing something. I don't have. I've got anglers, good cooking, the hunter magazines. Those are for the traps. Over here I've got my mechanics Gorilla Radio. I'm missing Gorilla Radio Volume 1. Oh, looks like Prime's just turned up. But I don't have farming almanacs. Not in there. Farming's actually should be over here, I think. Yeah, farming, fishing. Yeah, all my food ones are in one. So I've got nothing. I'm missing volume 3. So maybe that's a thing. Next week we could go hunting for the farming almanac. You say that. That's just given me an idea. Let's just pause the game. Right, so we're here. I don't think there's anything like it around here. At least not in West Point. Doesn't look like there's any... Oh, that looks like it could be a garden. Maybe that house would yield some kind of fruit. But I suspect... So let's just go check. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quit out of this game. And I'm going to load the same game. So that's this one. And I'm going to go more. Instead of playing the character West Point, we're going to go for Vanessa Renner. You know, these are one of the previous characters that I've played in this playthrough. They're actually in the house around the other lake, outside Rosewood. Let's see how dead we are. Right. Now, the reason I've come here, I'm going to say, is to check out the bookcase. First aid, mechanics, metalwork, tailoring. Farming. The farming magazine. Make mildew cure, make fly cure. That's what I'm looking for. The farming magazine. Knew I was missing something. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm missing. And that's 3 o'clock. Good grief. Where's all that time gone? So that sounds like a good point to bring things to a close. So I guess next week it's Ven the Farming Magazine Hunter. So we're going to have to try and find one of those. So we'll try and find the Farming Magazine. I haven't seen one. Even though we checked out some farming buildings a while ago. Let's go back to the map. I mean, we went out around these areas and we didn't see it or find it. We even stretched out over here to the Ponyarama area. Nothing there. I don't think we made it out here though. That might be worth a look. It's a bit of a trek. I mean, we went through this area as well. Oh, Supertone, Comic Con. Nice. Maybe these buildings? Over here? I don't think I've actually raided these. Yeah, and you, Vulcan, have a great week. Thanks for getting online. Yeah, and thank you to everyone who's joined us on the chat this week. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed to my channel. Don't forget, like, subscribe, yada yada. I'll catch you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you to Rudy, to Vulcan, to Supertone, to Joe, and to anyone else. Let's see, anybody else? Anybody else? Ah, Lakeisha. Welcome to the channel. Didn't see your messages, sorry. But yeah, that's everyone. Don't forget to join us next week, Sunday, 1 o'clock GMT. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you then. Check out our Facebook and Twitter feeds. I'll be posting some Warzone bits and pieces over the week, I think. Some builds, maybe, for weapons and bits and pieces. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.